My name is Jacqueline Anne Monroe, the brand new co-host for the Introverted Poets podcast. I am a scriptwriter, poet, spiritual advisor, tarot reader, candle maker, and entertainer. Co-producer, voiceover artist, live host, and future author. I'm overjoyed to be a part of the Introverted Poets podcast today. We have a very special guest. Welcome to the very first video and audio interview for the Introverted Poets podcast for season 3 of 2022. Greetings, this is Esteban Torres from Amaresi Adoa. He is a record producer, singer, songwriter, audio advertiser, podcast producer, music composer, jingle commercial producer, and a music teacher. His studio is based out of Nuevo Laredo. May I say I am so excited to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me. It's an honor to have you here at the Introverted Poets podcast. How are you today?
Very good. Very excited to start this new season and these new things that are going around that are needed, so much needed around the city and the region. So very excited to be here and what's going on.
I'm so excited to have you too. I'm like, wow. When I went to look at your page, I saw so many amazing stuff. Like, I loved your webpage. I love all of your work, your music, everything. It's so amazing. So I actually wanted to ask you a couple of questions today about your music and your production studio. How do you feel about answering some of those questions for the viewers so they can see what you have to offer?
Yes, let's go ahead. Let's share the good stuff.
Woo, I'm so excited. This is awesome. All right. So I was wondering, honestly, what made you want to become a music producer?
Okay, so I started recording music about, it's going to be almost, well, I say it officially. I started my recording company. It's called Amaresi Audio or Amaresi. I don't know how you would say it in English, but that's the name. I started about 12 years ago. You want to put like 15 that I started recording actually. And is recording unstable?
Yeah, just a little bit, but I think I can hear you better now.
Okay. Yeah, I started the recording business officially about 12 years ago on January 2010. I basically just wanted to make music. I mean, you could put like a lot of adjectives or descriptions to what I do, but basically it all boils down to just make the best music possible, right?
Yes.
I started playing the guitar when I was about 7-8 years. Those were like my first classes here in Nuevo Laredo. But then I got into Catholic choirs and just listening to music on the radio. Basically on the radio on the 90s, because that was like the only way. Probably the internet early 2000s. MTV was up there, on late 90s, early 2000s, music videos.
Those were my favorite music.
That's that. Yes, MySpace around 2000s as well, between 2000 and 2010 something, or 2005. Yeah, I mean, it was just all that influence that got me, interested in wanting to make something. And well, now I'm here, now we're on the Introverted Poets podcast, and it's just music, and music songs are some kind of poetry. So yeah, that's how I got into it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, one can say that. Yes, I mean, a lot of poems actually are transferred or turned into songs. So yes, I agree with you when it comes to that. That music is poetry, and poetry and music are art, and there are so many different styles of writing. You know what I mean? And even I do believe that producing even like the music background part is a lot of work, and it's a lot of composition. It's still writing, but it's a different kind of writing. You know what I mean? So I really like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a different kind of. Well, yeah, they actually write music. I mean, I don't actually do like, kind of like old fashioned type of writing where you get like a music score and write the notes out. It's I mean, now we have the technology that can help us out to actually just, if I have an idea in my head, I just sing it. Like I can just use my
Yes.
smartphone and just record the idea and just flow. Just go with the flow and like what I usually do is I make the music first, and I write the lyrics. I haven't managed to actually write lyrics first and then make the music because I don't know. I just work that way, but I've helped other people. That some people that have come to the studio or come with me, they have some lyrics or they have something that they wrote, which is actually like not even a poem. It's just things that they think of or things that have happened to them, and we just make a song out of it. So that's how I can.
It's like creative writing too. It's creative writing, storytelling. It's all beautiful writing. It's all amazing. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Mhm.
So I was looking at your page and I had listened to some of the songs that you had produced, and they were all super, super amazing. And I was wondering, like, how many total albums have you produced, and what artists and bands that have you worked with?
Okay, I don't have an exact number of how many. Well, I think I do. I mean, but I don't have the exact number. I think it's been around. Like I want to say it's about between 4 and 6 or 7 like full albums like that have 10, 11, 12 songs.
Wow.
Most of the work that I have been doing, it's just singles or it's just individual songs because production work itself, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm like the most recognized producer in the region or whatever, but um, it's not something that you can just do it for fun. You have to make an investment on
Yeah.
it. So a lot of people decide to go the way of just recording singles and well, actually a career in itself, it's also something very time consuming, and it's like a hobby for a lot of people,
Yeah.
or like a small part-time activity as well, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say about 4 or 6, and then it's just singles all over, and like EPs, like 3 songs, like 3, 4 song albums, if you want to call them.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know what the amount is, but I've been working on that. I mean, I don't know if I have to say 10 or 15 or something, but for the past 12 years, I've been working on that much music.
That's so amazing. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. And yes, I do agree with you that when you're making music, and also just if you're really dedicated to being entertainer or a producer or a songwriter, it is a huge investment, money wise and time wise. It's a lot of effort and it is work. So I agree with you on that.
Yes.
There are people who do just do it as a hobby or a pastime thing, but there are people that are really, really invested into it, and they're doing really great things. And I know that you also worked with Hoy No Mas. I actually did a video with them too. I saw on your page that you had done the whole album, so I thought that was pretty amazing. They're awesome. A lot of people here in Laredo know about them too. So they're
Yes.
good friends of mine too. So I have lots of love for them, and everybody should also check them out on YouTube, and definitely go check him out too, because oh my god, wow, he's incredible. So
Yeah.
I actually have another couple more questions here for you. So I was wondering if you had any upcoming albums that you're going to be releasing, or any new music that you want to share here on the podcast or the vlog.
Yes. Well, I am currently working on a music project. Well, besides doing production work, which is something that I have been doing for a while. Actually, all of this started because I just wanted to get my music out there, and just people started knowing that I record, and they wanted me to record their music. But as of now, I recently released a music project called Adoa, which is a word. It's like an adaptation of a word that is in Western Apache, which means to sing. I started this
Love that.
I started this music project on between around April, May, or June of 2020, right when the pandemic was just beginning.
Yeah.
Mostly because I used to be working on music projects before that with other friends of mine, but because of the pandemic, I started working on this project because I wasn't going to be seeing. I wasn't going to see until the pandemic ended, but which actually hasn't like really ended.
Right.
So I just decided to devote time. Exactly, Deltacron and whatever else comes.
Yeah.
And so on 2020, it was kind of a stop for me doing things. And I remember at that time I was working on. I had several music ideas that I had just left on my laptop, which weren't. I mean, were just like sketches, if you want to call them, or like first sketches. I don't know the word. And I decided to, give a second look to them and start working on those pieces of music and make them into complete or full songs. And everything just started flowing from there. The pandemic in a certain way changed things. At least for me, it changed a lot of things because I also stopped recording music at the studio.
Yeah.
Well, even though I stopped, so it was like from around March of 2020 up until August or September when I started getting some people record. Actually, I started recording Hoy No Más around September or October of 2020 with their first songs. So I've been with them for a while, but that shift, of just being quarantined, we used that a lot then, right? Like be the quarantine and just be at your home, and you cannot go out, and because we still don't have the vaccine.
It's shifted what I just started to do is doing things, right? Like
exactly,
because it's like now we're doing things like online, which I find to be really cool, right? Because it actually like opens up a lot more doors and opportunities for people, like especially reaching out to like other people that are like maybe at a distance too, and like working from home and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think it just also gave people a lot more new creative ideas to work with, especially having to adapt to the changes of being at home. So I agree with you 100% on how everything's changed so much. And I mean, I have to give you props for doing all of that and still getting through the virus, and finding new creative ways to still make music and continue to work. That's great.
Yes, I just wanted to also mention that, I mean, I think that the pandemic thing is a lot of people see it negative. I've noticed that they all say like, oh, the economy, the social contact. I mean, I know it's important. I mean, it's important. All of that is important, but I think it's also. I mean, I think it was also important to, in a certain way, the pandemic helped out to kind of like let people know what they wanted to do. Of saying it, but at least that's what I noticed because I was, working with people that wasn't like really about music, and then I just was on my own and just decided to go for what was left to be going on. Like actually learned 2 new music instruments during the pandemic, and
wow.
and just got this music out, right? So I'm just like I'm ready to start sharing all of that I have been doing like during the pandemic, and that's why.
Wow, you definitely transmuted a negative situation into a positive outcome for your business and for yourself. Like, that is so great. I also wanted to ask you, when will you be debuting your album? Because I'm sure there's so many people who are going to want to see and hear what you have to offer.
Okay, so as of now, I have to mention on this music project for Adoa, I am working on the project on my own. So I've been doing all of the recording, all of the post-production work, the mixing and mastering, and the pre-production work as well, which is like writing the songs and getting the ideas out. So that is definitely time consuming. Even though I have been working for these last 2 years, 2020, 21, 2 years is gonna be.
Yeah.
It's been some work. So what I have been doing as of now, it's just been releasing singles. On this past December 21st of 2021, I released my first single, which was an instrument called 115, which you can actually see on social networks. I don't know if my ad can be seen. It's Adoamxn, so you can follow me there. You can hear the first single and also see a music video. And I recently released this last Friday, February 18. I released my second single, which is called Futuro, or Future in English. And that's a song that has lyrics on it, so you can listen to that too, and hope you guys like it and share if you're into it, and leave messages and whatnot, right? So, and let's make this even better for everyone.
I'm definitely gonna go check it out. I'm gonna share it on my social platforms as well, so everyone can go check it out there also.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I'll also leave everything in the description for the video too. So I'm gonna drop your links to your social medias, and so that people can follow you. So I wanted to know what has inspired you to become a writer, or to make these new singles, aside from the coronavirus. And I know that you said you are inspired by so many different music artists from the 90s and the 2000s, which I honestly think those were some of the best times for music. Like, there was so many great albums that came out at that time. But is there anything else that could possibly be inspiring you, or pushing you to move in so many new directions? Because you are going from being a music producer to now, writing your own songs and performing and becoming an entertainer.
Yeah. So besides music itself, I think it's been mostly my family as well. I married about 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I didn't met my wife. I met her about I actually met her about 11 or 12 years ago. But then I got to see her again in Monterrey, and she's just a big inspiration for me, for the songs in general, and just for, pushing me forward and doing these things. She's like my number one fan and encouragement for the things that I've been doing. And besides that, it's also my daughter. So those things are the things that push me mostly to, write and also express things that I feel something about. So there's like love songs that I do, and also I have this kind of like social motivator also, to just address things that are going on in the city and in the region, and kind of like address like a collective feeling, because I know there's like people that have also felt anxiety or have felt some kind of angst for the times that we're living, especially the pandemic. So those things are influence to me, just basically what surrounds me and what happens around.
That sounds like a great influence. Like, there's nothing more inspiring than the love of your family and your community. So wow, you are doing so much. I'm really gonna take some of the advice you're giving to me and to all the viewers too. But speaking of advice, like, would you have any type of advice to give any other singers, songwriters, and or producers?
Yeah, I don't have like an exact advice, because it depends on what kind of support or need everyone has. But I think this music thing, or this artist thing, is just about being constant and not, giving up on the first thing that happens, because it's gonna take a while. I mean, I've been working for about 12 years, if you want to say like officially or professionally.
Yeah.
But
You got a lot
I
of
still don't consider myself like success, right? Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't consider myself like a success after 12 years. I think the only success I can mention is that I'm still doing it, right? Even though I'm not, I'm not rich or whatever. I mean, I'm not looking, to be rich or whatever. I just want to keep on doing this. Like, I know there's a lot of people that tell me like, hey, what is the goal of making music, or what is your like end purpose, or like you're doing it, like, do you want to famous?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't like, if that comes. I mean, I'll appreciate it and work towards it, but I think the thing that, I mean, after 12 years of working on this, I think what I just want to do is to actually like make a more stable living out of it. I mean, and that doesn't mean like being rich, but I wish I could be just doing this, like, for example, tomorrow, just waking up and start working on music, or start, to record someone tomorrow, or whatnot. Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I still have my like day job, if you want to call it, and this is like what I do, like, on the afternoons or evenings or weekends. But yeah, I mean, I think that's my main goal, probably, in doing this.
That's awesome. You have a lot of faith in yourself, and you believe in yourself, and that's very inspiring to other people too. And at the end of the day, you're doing it honestly for the love of the art and the love of the music, and to help other people. So that's really, really amazing. So I also wanted to ask, have you ever come across any challenges yourself in your music career, aside from like working and stuff?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of like the main challenge, to what I have noticed is that more and more people are being involved in culture in general. It's kind of funny because, I mean, I know back before we didn't have a lot of internet, but I know that there were just people doing different stuff all over the city and all over the region, but we didn't know each other, and now we kind of know each other, right? Because it's just online presences. Um, I mean, I am hoping for the pandemic to end at least this year, so we can start in the human contact again on music events and art events in the city.
Yes, to network, right?
But yeah, I mean, I think that the challenge right now is to, hopefully we can, connect even more, because that way everyone gets, the win-win thing, right? I mean, I can meet people, and they know that I record, and so I'll be able to record them, or if someone has an event, I'll be able to play, or whatnot. Or if I have an event, I can invite bands to play on the events that I want to organize. So, I mean,
wow, that sounds like a lot of work. A lot of talent.
Yeah, in a certain way. Yeah, in a certain way, right now the challenge is that, to kind of like overcome what's right now. I mean, the only thing that we can do is probably like these type of things, right? The podcasts, and just connect online to start getting things ready for whenever the pandemic comes out, and we can start making more noise out. Well, not noise, music. Let's just call it music. Let's just music and art in general out there. I mean, I think that's much needed, and we need to connect with art. And that's, I would say, that's our challenge, to overcome a lot of negative stuff that's going on in the region, and with people in general.
Yeah,
I mean,
try to bring some positivity into the world and express yourself through art and music and writing. I love all of that too. Like, me personally, I like to do crafts too, and write. And I mean, I try to do a little bit of music here and there, but I'm not, all pro or nothing. That's just something I do for fun. Like you said, there's some people who just do things for fun, and then there's people who really do things seriously. But I mean, I really enjoy being on the podcast, and this is going to be like my first video version. So I'm really happy about that. So what is your favorite thing about producing and writing and about your new albums that you're making or your singles?
I would say it's, well, whenever I'm making music, I just enjoy the process of doing it. Like, it's just finding new sounds, or finding things that I find interesting,
Yeah.
and just, work the sound out, work it out, work the music out, and just try to get the most out of it. Whenever I feel some kind of fulfillment from that, and I believe that will, uh, transfer to other people. So that's something that I find truly enjoying. And whenever I finish a song, and I know that a customer or an artist that records with me likes it, and I mean, it's just like that process of carving the sound out of a song, and having like the end result, and having like a positive reaction, or just a reaction from people, like that they connect, or they find something on the piece of art or work that you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything to me.
Like, you're at the same vibration and synchronization. And so also, like, people can actually heal through music. So like how you say, when people are like, how they connect with you and they've been through that, it's like you're literally helping them heal themselves. So I also wanted to ask.
Exactly. It's
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. I mean, I was just wanted to say, like, yeah, I mean, it's something that I mean, I think it's something that just it's a different kind of therapy. Music and art is just a very interesting therapy for everyone. I mean, for just the people doing it, it's a lot of. I mean, that it's like spiritual, mental, physical work. I mean, it's all combined into one thing, and just making something out of that. It's, you just, I mean, a lot of stuff happens whenever, I mean, people change, I mean, in a certain way, like whenever they hear something new, or something that's done locally.
Yes, I love that. Like, I agree with you 100% on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what type of training did you need to do the work that you do right now?
I started taking music lessons since I started taking guitar lessons.
Yeah.
But then I think I only took music lessons when I was 7 years old for only 6 months, because I mean, back then it was just Nintendo 64 and
I remember that.
and the Simpsons and MTV, and just distractions all over. But then I live close to a church, a Catholic church here, and the other activity that was done there, it was to belong to the Catholic choirs there. So that got me going. I mean, it was. I mean, I remember like my mother saying, like, "Hey, I want you to go to mass every Sunday, and because you have to work on your spiritual, on your spiritual, what do you call it, like area, on your spiritual area or whatever." And but I mean, the best excuse for me to go to church was just to play the guitar, I do that. But I mean, it's a good thing, because music, whatever type of music it is, as long as you do it with your heart, or with a true passion for it, or a true interest for it. I mean, it just seeps into other people.
That's awesome, man. I agree with you with that too. Like, I think it's just also, it's your soul speaking to other people. So yeah, I also was raised in a Catholic church, and I also remember the choir always singing. But the church that I went to, they had like an organ guy. They didn't have a guitar. He had like this big organ, and he would play that. And we're like, whoa, interesting.
It just
So that's fun. That's awesome that you learned that, and you also work on yourself spiritually, but also, like you said, physically, while by learning how to do that. So that's awesome that you got to learn those things, at the church. So also I wanted to know, or for the viewers to know and listeners, how much do you usually charge for your services?
Well, it depends. Like for example, I have people that just want to just record their voices for podcasts, and I mean, I don't have a specific price for that. I mean, I can start about like about $25-$50. If it's just something really short. I mean, I don't want to make people spend a lot of money on something that's gonna be very short. But if it's like a full production thing where you're gonna be recording all the instruments and record vocals and then do post production work, which is mixing and mastering, that starts about around $200, and then it goes up because it depends on a lot of things. Like if they're gonna be recording like 5, 10, or 20 instruments, I mean, it just goes. You just have to raise the tab there because it's work that needs to be done.
Right?
Yeah, that entails, right? And some people just want to record and then they send then they do their own mixing or do their own mastering, or even some people already have recorded everything and they just want me to do the post production work. So I just make price for whatever comes in, right?
Yeah.
There's no specific amount.
Well, that's good because I mean, for the most part, it sounds pretty affordable, and I think it's understandable if the price would be a little bit more, depending on how many people are performing and how much work it's going to entail and what work is being done. So, I mean, that's often just a little sneak peek for what you have to offer there. And I just wanted to ask one more question before we conclude the awesome interview with you here. I just wanted to know, like, if you could travel anywhere in the world to perform your music, where would you want to go? And why?
It only has to be one place, if you want to put it that way. I mean, I wish I could go like as much places as I can, but I don't have a specific place to go. I mean, I wish I could already play, right? Like even locally.
Yeah.
I mean that's all I wish for right now. Like to be ready for that whenever that moment comes. I mean, I'm just ready for that, and like I don't have like a specific. I mean, I don't. I mean, I wish I could be everywhere, like touring and be doing those things, but there's no one particular place that I could be. I mean, I would like to be in Japan, and I would like to be in France, and but I mean, I wouldn't like it to be just one place.
Yeah, so you just basically want to just travel to different places and perform there, get to know the culture and meet new people, and sounds like you have a lot of interesting ideas and like you have a lot of stuff going on, and honestly, like you are so talented because there's not many people who can do all of the stuff that you're doing, managing. And I just want to say, wow, I am honestly impressed. When I saw you, when we got in contact to do the interview, I was just ultimately super excited. I went and saw your profile and I was like, wow, this person is a true artist. Like, I am so blessed and honored to have you here on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the invite and for giving this opportunity to artists, to share, their thoughts beyond their art, right? So I think this is much needed, and people also can connect, with not just the art that we're doing, but also what we think about, whenever we're doing art.
Yeah. That's why I also, I wanted to get like real deep into the interviews and for people to not only get to know the music, but to get to know the artist and what makes them want to become an artist, what motivates them, what could inspire other people to connect with you and your music, and just all writers in general, whether it be in music producing, writing, ghostwriting, even like TV, movies, books, anything that, entitles writing, even advertisements and stuff, like how you do the advertisements.
Exactly.
So like, honestly, I was super blessed to have this opportunity too, and to do the video versions of the Introverted Poets podcast. So I'm really happy, and I'm also the same, wanting to connect with my audience too, and for us all to be able to freely express ourselves too, and also to, put Laredo on the map, and also learn about other places too, and get other people here on the podcast, even from maybe out of town, even at some point out of the country. I mean, we got you, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If one day it becomes worldwide, worldwide, that would be awesome. But yes, it's just so we can express ourselves and also get to know the artists, the writers, and the people, and what really makes them so unique and special. So with that, I just want to say that is going to end and conclude our interview today with the extremely talented Esteban Torres, representing Amaresi Adoa. It was such a blessing again to have you here on the very first video, and it's going to be also in the audio, so the audio interview as well. So I just want to wish you the best luck with your album, and I look forward to hearing it and sharing it out on all of my platforms, all of my social medias. And I just want to thank you again so much for your time, and want to let you know that I am so honored again to have you here. And definitely, guys, I don't know if you want to plug yourself in again one last time before we end the interview.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation and for letting me share and just, connect with people all over, whoever is watching. Thank you for watching. You can find me everywhere as Adoamxn. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook. That'll be my my link, or my handle. I think that's how you call it in English.
Yeah.
The handle, it's at Adoamxn. You'll see it somewhere around, and you can just follow me on social networks. Adoamxn. So yeah, just look for that, and hope to connect with some of you guys. Hope this pandemic gets out, and we'll see each other soon live.
Yes, super awesome. So that concludes this episode of the first video/audio interview for summer of 2022 season 3. Stay tuned for our next video episode with the lovely Lina and Hoy No Mas. You're not going to want to miss out on that one. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter, follow us on Spotify. I'm going to put all the details in the links below, along with his plugs in there. Y'all have a beautiful day. It was so nice again working with you, and peace. See you guys on summer 2022. I hope you enjoy the first episode of the video version of the podcast at the Introverted Poets podcast.
If you're not willing to work, give up on your dreams, bro. Straight up. Because there's a lot of people right now that do not want to work. They don't want to put in the work. You don't want to read. You don't want to get up early. You don't want to make the extra effort. You don't want to sacrifice. Give up. You're not going to get your dream if you are just lazy. If you're lazy, if you're not going to be necio, forget about it.
They do it wrong and they put themselves down. Like, I can't do it. I'm like, you can't do it now, but you're telling me you want to get better at it. Yeah. And I'm telling them, you have to make the mistake 100 times, and mistake 101 will be the one where you're good at it. Yeah. And then you're going to mess up again, and then you're going to do it. Like, you have to be able to understand what you want to get better at and focus on that strength over and over and over.
People nowadays, everything's so quick, the quick gratification, all that. It's like they're focused on the quick, the now, the moment. It's like, I get it.
Likes,
yeah, it's just, all right, go. It's like, oh, I only got 20 views. Fuck this shit. I'm done. It's like, dude, 20 views will eventually turn into 200,000 when you've made 200 videos.
Yeah. I had started writing that album when I was like 16 probably, and I didn't know how to post or produce or record. I kind of just, so from that, I posted when I was like 21. So from 16 to 21, I was just figuring out how to do music.
It's like for me, it wasn't maybe being the best. It was me to learn to be a good artist and to get to that level, man. I don't think I was ever the best. Obviously, I just started, so I didn't even have that mentality. I wanted to learn. To learn on your own, you have to invest in your time and in your craft, bro. And that's what I did. At 19 years old, I bought my own shit. I didn't know shit about music, but I learned on my own. So that's when I started, though.
Do you have any advice for people that are going through the exact same thing you went through right now?
I guess the first one would be, if you want to do it because you're passionate about it, and then the money, not because of the money first.
Okay.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to fall off.
Honestly, just do you. One thing that I know that stopped a lot of people is fear. If you stay fearing like your passion and what other people think, and you start caring about what others think, then that's just gonna honestly throw you back more. So I'd say, you know what? Do it because we're only here once.
Don't let other people's opinion on what you're doing influence your main goal. Don't let somebody else tell you that you can't do this, or you're doing something stupid, or you should do this, or like, nah, if you want to do something, you got to go out there to get it yourself, and never let anybody else discourage you. Like, that's my main thing. Never let anybody discourage you.